Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sophie. In case you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. First of all, happy new year. I hope you ushered in 2020 in good style, and I hope in as much as it's a little early into the year, you are already winning. I am just super happy to be doing my first sit down video of the new year, and I really hope that if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you'll be inspired to subscribe maybe after this video. And I really hope if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, you know, get the chance to do so. So let me just say, as the title suggests, I'm going to be talking about some of the important life lessons that I have learned, particularly in 2019. First of all, I almost did not need to make this video. I almost didn't make this video because honestly, at some point last year, just in September when I turned 26, I just woke up one day and decided to share 26 life lessons in 26 years. And when you share that kind of thing, you just really usually think that you have shared so much and there isn't much that you can learn within the remainder of the year, like in the last 3 months. And it was gonna stay like that. It was going to stay as my 26 lessons in 26 years, maybe until my next birthday this year. But then something happened to change that. Let me start by giving you a brief background to why I ended up here doing this particular video. I was seated, I think the first few days of December 2019, and I was thinking to myself, wow, the year has just flown. It has just flown, kabisa, and it blew my mind. The more I thought about it, the more I felt excited to be coming to, you know, the end of a whole year. And I thought to myself, 2019 has been such a roller coaster. It has thrown a lot of challenges my way. But in as much as all these challenges have been thrown my way, I have managed to overcome every single one of them. And that's what made it so exciting. And I was just there thinking, just 4 weeks, and then I can say, yes, I have finally made it past 2019. I was just waiting to be excited. I thought I'd learned so much. I thought I'd shared so much. I was waiting for it to be over and done with so that I can move on to the next chapter of my life in another year, you know. But then as time went by, 2 weeks to the end of 2019, the worst thing happened, like the worst possible thing. I lost a friend. Like, he just passed on 2 weeks to the end of the year after I was just there celebrating how the year is coming to a close. Like, it just happened. Let me tell you guys, it is the most overwhelming thing that I have ever gone through. The most overwhelming thing that I have ever had thrown at me. And I know to some people it might sound a little funny or a little strange for me to be saying that, because honestly, people pass on every day, and these people who pass on are people's families, they're people's friends, they're people's colleagues and whatnot. But the truth is, it just never occurred to me that one day one of my closest friends would ever go just like that. And it was so unexpected, but it took me by surprise. It's the most shocking thing, literally, as I'm talking right now. It's the most shocking thing that has ever happened to me. And you know, at such moments, somebody's life just flashes in front of you. You start seeing them, you start remembering everything they told you, and you have a lot of could haves going through your head, should haves, would haves. And I went through that phase, and it wasn't good. In fact, by the way I'm speaking to you right now, it hasn't even been a month since it happened. Now, I won't go into the details of what happened or how it happened or who this friend was and whatnot. Just know it was a very close person to my heart. And amidst all those would haves, could haves, and should haves, there's one thing that crossed my mind. I have to learn some lessons, and those lessons are what I want to share with you guys, because who knows, they might help somebody somewhere. They might make you, you know, see the value in things that maybe you have never seen. And it would be my joy, my pleasure if that's what happens. So yeah, without further ado, let me get straight into the lessons. I'll try making this video a little shorter than the 26 life lessons in 26 years. So the first lesson, obviously, is that life is short. You guys, I've had this statement ever since I was a child. People keep saying, life is short, life is short, life is short. And yeah, I've always known that, but it has never been emphasized so strongly to me like it is right now. Because when you lose your friend, I mean, a lot of things cross your mind. Your friend is that person that you know is always there somewhere. You talk to each other, you confide in your friends, you do stuff together and whatnot, and your friends are like your age, you like the same things, you do the same things. So when that happens, it kind of hits you that it could happen to you. Today you might be here, tomorrow you might not be here. And I know, being African, that is a very scary thought, because a lot of Africans do not like thinking of such things. But the lesson here is that life is short, it's a reality, and what needs to happen is you need to live your best life. Live the life that you'd like to be remembered by. Do the things that you'd like people to remember you by someday when maybe you are not here. And I know oftentimes we remember people by how much contribution they put in society. Maybe they contributed a lot of money to build a school somewhere. Maybe they contributed I don't know, food to some orphanage somewhere. Maybe they built an entire hospital or something. Those are very, very big achievements and big contributions. But you know what? It doesn't have to be that way. Anything small that you do to change somebody's life is a whole contribution by itself. So just do the much you can. Live your best life. Live the way you'd like to be remembered. The second point that I'm going to put across is that friendship is beautiful. I don't know about you, but if there's one thing that I value so much in this life, it is friendship. To me, friends are the family that you choose. You know, your own family, you were just born, you found yourself there, and because you found yourself there, you just had to live with those people. And of course, you have to love them because they're your family. Family is very important. But you know, sometimes your friends and those people you hang out with more, those people you talk to more compared to maybe your aunties and your uncles and whatnot. So that's why I usually see my friends as the family that I chose. It doesn't matter how long you have known somebody. It does not matter how far or how close that person lives, that friend of yours lives. What matters is the quality of the relationship that you have with them. Have you ever been in this situation whereby, in as much as somebody is far away, you just never feel like they're that far away? You always feel like they're so close to you. That is what I call quality friendship. And that's pretty much what I had with this person. And so I realized after what happened that friendship is just so beautiful, and that what matters most is how this person makes you feel. If they make you feel like you always have somebody watching you, you always have somebody watching your back, you always have their support, they're always with you in good times and bad times, that is your friend. So yeah, friendship is beautiful, and you should learn to value your friends. The other thing that I learned, like the third lesson that I learned in this 2 weeks, is the fact that there is no such thing as the perfect time. As human beings, we live thinking that we have so much time. We kind of forget that time is not always on our side, and that time is not necessarily that long. And we always forget that today might be here, but tomorrow might not be. I've been around for 26 years. I've been sleeping for 26 years and waking up, and it might just seem like a normal thing. And so you think that I can do this tomorrow, and I'll do this next week, but one and whatnot, and you procrastinate a lot of things. Sorry if you can hear some sounds outside. There's a bus that's doing something over there. But yeah, time is not always on our side, and as such, there is no such thing as the perfect time. So grab every opportunity that you get, every chance you get to do something, do it. Do not procrastinate. And I know, of course, I'm human. In as much as I'll say this, I'll find myself procrastinating a few things. But I guess my goal for this year and for the rest of my life is just to not procrastinate things so much, because sometimes opportunities present themselves, but you just don't take them because you feel like you can always do it tomorrow. Maybe you wanted to go see your friend today because you have time, but then you feel like you're a little too lazy to do it, and then you think, I'll just go next week, because after all, in your head, they're going to be there. Maybe you want to travel to this place, and then you're like, let me just wait kidogo and whatnot. Let me wait for the perfect time. Sometimes there just isn't any such thing as the perfect time. It's just you to make that time perfect. So yeah, it waits for no man. The other lesson that I have learned so strongly is to put God in all of your plans. honestly speaking, as a human being, I plan so much. In my head, I'm always planning something. Something crosses my mind and I'm thinking, I should do this by this date. Next year I should do this. In 5 years' time, I need to be at such and such a place. And it's good to plan like that. But sometimes we just forget to involve God in our plans. And sometimes what we really want to do with ourselves is not necessarily what God wants us to do with ourselves. And it becomes a big problem, especially when things do not go the way you want them to go. And then now it becomes so difficult for you to accept. You could just be there thinking, in 2 years' time, I want to have my house, I want to have my car, I want to have my job and whatnot. And then God is just there thinking, my child, things do not necessarily work like that. I have this plan for you. So instead, I guess, as a human being, what I need to learn is that whenever I plan something, I should also pray to God and just involve Him in my plans. And that is a better way of doing things. But then now that brings me to my next lesson, which is we should learn to accept the will of God regardless of what it is. Sometimes things happen to us and they're so difficult for us to deal with. And we ask ourselves, why me? Why us? And that's what happened to me. I was asking myself why this person had to go. I mean, they were young. Was it really necessary? We had so much planned. We used to talk and we'd say, we'd do this and that and that and that. But then suddenly all those plans have just gone down the drain because they are no longer there. And I found myself asking, why? Why us? Why me? But then, the one thing I learned is that God is perfect. And it's a bitter pill to swallow sometimes. But you have got to understand that everything He plans is perfect. It's because He knows best why everything happens. And as human beings, it's so hard to accept things that do not go our way. But when things happen to you, you just leave them in the hands of God. And it might not make you feel better at that time, but later on, maybe you will come to understand why things happened the way they did. And don't force yourself to understand. If you lost your job and that was your dream job and you thought you were going to make a life out of, from it, and then you lose it or something happens, such kinds of things. Because things happen every day. Just remember that God knows why. And if you're finding it so difficult to accept His will, just pray that He gives you the grace to find it within you, to accept what it is that He has said should happen. Also brings me to another lesson, and that is live every day at a time. And when two ends do not meet, do not force them to meet. You guys, how many times have things gone wrong and you try everything possible to fix it and it just doesn't happen? It's a lot of times. So yeah, I think I've just learned that when things don't seem to go your way, when two ends do not meet, don't force them to meet, because if God wills for them to meet, they will. And sometimes there's always a way. You just don't see that way because as human beings, we get too engrossed in thinking how we are failures, or how the world is against us, or how the universe is working against us, and that's why things are not going the way we had planned. But God holds the day, so you just live for today. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow is not yet here, and sometimes when it feels, when your judgment of the future is clouded, just leave it in the hands of God. He'll take care of it. The other lesson is that your survival depends on you. Your survival does not depend on a 9-to-5 job. Your survival does not depend on your friends and your I don't know what. So if that job is not keeping you happy, by all means, step aside, just go away. If you have a dream, just follow it, because it all depends on you. Your survival depends on you. And also, when you make decisions, big decisions like leaving your job, moving out and whatnot, should anything go wrong, do not blame other people, because you are responsible for your own self. So just always know, should anything go wrong, it's up to you, it's on you. So yeah, just learn to take a bit more responsibility with the things that happen in your life. The other thing I'd like to say is always learn to make achievable goals. it's good to dream big. It's very, very good to dream big. But sometimes when we dream so big, we forget that some of these dreams are not easily attainable. So what I've learned in my life, and this being January, I think this message is good to pass across to people, is that it's important to make those small goals so that you actually work towards achieving them with a bit more ease, and then you can actually see yourself progressing, and you can now make those bigger goals. Like, go step by step. Don't dream of something that you know is over here and you're still here, and you give it a very small time frame, because that's almost not so achievable. Just be a bit more realistic in how you make your goals, and work towards them every day. And when you attain every single one of those small goals, you see yourself progressing, you'll be more encouraged to pursue even bigger things. And then maybe the last one for this video, just a random one: when you do something wrong to somebody, learn to apologize. Last year I witnessed a series of things, and I was like, some people did some things wrong, but what I noticed is, instead of apologizing even after realizing that they did something wrong, they're trying to cover it up. They're like, oh hi, are you around, can I take you out? Oh hi, I think I should buy you lunch. I'm like, no. When you realize you have done something wrong, or when somebody tells you that you have done something wrong to them and you've talked about it and whatnot, do not be too proud to say sorry, because I guess that's what happens to a lot of people. Instead of being that, just go, be humble enough to tell them, hey, I didn't mean for this to happen, but I'm sorry that it happened anyway, so please forgive me, and it will make that other person feel better. So yeah, I know this video was so random, but I really just wanted to share a bit of what I've learned, and I think that maybe these lessons are more emphasized in me right now because of what happened to my friend. And I really hope, for his sake and for mine, and for the sake of all those people who are his friends, that such a video can actually pass a message across to somebody in a very simple way, that they learn to appreciate the people around them. Not that I didn't appreciate my friend, I really did, which is why I perhaps sometimes even sit down and think he's probably somewhere, he's just gonna text me, then reality checks that he's not around anymore. But at least I have learned something from this entire experience, things that I intend on keeping with me for the rest of my life. And I don't know why my voice is going, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you have a great 2020. Enjoy the rest of your year, and subscribe to my channel, because for the rest of this year, of course, just like last year, I'm going to be putting up a lot of videos for you guys to watch. Thank you for stopping by. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.